Masters, welcome in to the very first episode of The Forecast. Been saying this for so long that I'm going to do it, so finally I've got around to doing it. I've planned this for a long time to actually get into the golf space. I haven't done a lot of YouTube stuff. I've been on the radio for a long time. Been riding away for the last couple of years, but we're back. We're back in a big way ahead of the Masters. Can't wait for this. It's just like the best major in a long time. So I said, you know what? We'll do something this week quickly. And I'm not going to bore you. We've all heard the narratives of Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. And it just drives me insane. Every year, we've the same thing for 11 years. It's actually quite disrespectful to the other players. And in a certain way, I understand, Colin Morikawa's gripes with the media and not seeing media, because it can come across as a little bit disrespectful, but buzzing for this week, I have to say. Glad to get back in and do some podcasting. Going to be doing some golf vlogs in the future as well. That's a little bit away. I'm heading to Spain in the morning, play golf for a few days and watch the golf. So yeah, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, and I'll be doing this more and more often. A lot of people did reach out to me because I've been posting a lot of my selections on social media. Every week I do it. We've had about five winners, I think, this year. Load of each ways. And people have just been reaching out in DMs and saying, let's get a podcast going. So I said, listen, we'll get a quick one going ahead of the Masters. I'm not going to beat around for too long on stats and, who's going to win it for what reasons and narratives around. We all know them. I'll tell you who's not going to win it. Rory McIlroy. Really. And I'll give you a quick 5 minutes on this. We'll chat about this. And the reason why Rory McIlroy, I don't think is going to win it. I think maybe with the elbow injury, I think it's a niggle. I think he's trying to actually take the pressure off himself going into this week by saying that. With all the expectations, all the talk, everything's been about Rory. But, does he really have all the shots in his bag to win around here? His game's become more draw bias the years he's gone on in the game. Definitely has. There's no question about that. Is his wedge game sharp enough? I don't know. And the fact he's coming in with a couple of wins this season, I'm thinking, is that a good thing either? Do you not want to be coming in maybe with one win, less expectation? It's hyped up everything around him. And, let's look at the meltdown last summer at the US Open. We haven't seen him in a major perform well since then. He did it at the Irish Open as well in September. Rasmus Højgaard won that. The crowds get to Rory and the pressure. It does, clearly. It's been 11 years since the last major. Brooks Koepka's won 5 within that space. 5. So let's just back off a little bit. And I generally just don't think he's going to win this week. As for Scheffler, I think he can win it. I think it might be a week or two too early for him. He's all the shots in his game. Tiger Woods has spoken about that before, that he does. So, can he win? 100%. Scottie can win any week he wants, but maybe he's just a little bit. I believe he's a week or two short. So I wouldn't be backing either of them at the price they are at the moment. That is for sure. Let's get into it. So it's all getting underway tomorrow. There's some unbelievable groupings, incredible groupings from an Irish standpoint. Bear with me here as well, by the way. I'm actually doing everything on my own. I'm doing all the graphics. I'm doing the audio, bringing in my laptop to my PC for everything. So a bit all over the place. Haven't done this in a long time, but buzzing for. So okay, let's kick it off with some selections this week, and you'll see here who I'm going with. I'm going to go with Cameron Smith. Obviously, Live Golf, a guy who's finished here second before. Really good performance around here in 2022 when he finished second. The guy just needs to be good with his irons this week. He has the putting, he has the chipping. We've seen that absolutely phenomenal with the putter and around the greens. Something you need there, but I feel as though there's a lot too much emphasis put on putting around Augusta. We've seen some bad putters win there in the past. And another one of my picks, who's never been a traditionally great putter, Sergio Garcia. The guy's playing really good on live, really solid golf on live at the moment. So, I'd be looking at Sergio Garcia, Cameron Smith, and obviously Phil Mickelson. If you watched Trump Doral last week, Annie the Live tournament, really tough course there. They were 3 names that stood out, and Patrick Reed, who's on the list. I just don't fancy Patrick Reed to get the job done this week. But look, Big Phil, it's probably one of his last chances. 54 years of age, 3 times Masters winner, to get over the line. The guy hit a shot off the road the other day and plonked it within 12 feet at Trump Doral, a really, really tough course. So knows the track around here. A lefty, which always helps. Playing really good. You're going to get Phil. What are the odds on Phil? Let's have a little look at the odds on Phil. The odds on Phil this week are on Betfair Sportsbook, 85 to 1. Like, it's not bad, and that's going down. You'll get even more in the exchange, maybe about 120, 130 to 1. Really, really good stats. Good odds, should I say. You're getting Cameron Smith 45 to 1. That's gone in a lot. You get him 71 on the exchange. Another guy, as I said, who can really put up a show in this week if he's on form. And who would bet against it? He played really well last week for Liv. And also, who else is it? Sergio Garcia 50 to 1. Unbelievable. Really, really good odds there. I think 3 guys from Liv that are really in with a chance. Brooksy, like, I'm going to ride off Brooksy this week. He just has not been consistent enough with Liv. Love watching Brooks play. Big fan of him. Underestimated player, in my opinion. Always has been. Not appreciated enough. Should get more respect than he does. And, Bryson, really grown on me the last few years. But I just don't like him around Augusta. I think there's too many of those sort of big, massive drives in the locker where he'll just go out of control and won't be able to rescue. Does he have the touch around the greens? I'm not so sure if he does around Augusta as well. I wouldn't be too worried about his putting. It's just literally on the fringes, the chips, that sort of 30, 40 yarder where you need to just be really on point and get it close to the hole. I think you're going to be looking at guys who can really hit their irons well around here, long irons, have that feel around the green. I honestly I'm not that more concerned. The more you look at some of the past winners and you break it down and you analyse it, there's a lot less guys in there. A lot less guys in the winners that we have all down there that were like sensational putters. I think if you're a good lag putter, you'll really go well around here, and you'll see some of the names who I have there. Obviously the PGA Tour guys. We're going to go through now. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. Like, there's no point being around the bush. But do hit up the YouTube channel. Do subscribe. Do share. If you're getting value out of this, consider subscribing, all that. Hit the notifications button. Do it for. Because we're going to have some good stuff. You should hear me in the golf course, lads. It's pretty fucking unbelievable how ridiculously worked up I get. Believe it or not, if you used to follow my previous work. But mental stuff. Okay, let's get to the PGA Tour. There's a number of guys I'm really, really keen on this week to get over the line at Augusta National. And one of them is Mr. Shane Lowry. Listen, I think he's had an unbelievable season so far. Incredible performances right from the get-go of the season. He's gone up to a career best on the official world golf rankings of 12th this season. He has dropped to 13th in the last couple of weeks, but some incredible stats for Shane. He's played his last 6 events. He's had 5 top 20s, and 3 of them have been top 10s. Unbelievable long iron player, one of the best around. You'll need a lot of them this week if you're going to compete at Augusta. Really good hands, really good feel around the greens, brilliant with the wedge. Really good between 175 and 200. I think maybe he might even be ranked 1 in the stats there. So I think he's confident coming in this week. But the only area where Shane is going to struggle, it's inside 10 feet. It's been pretty poor inside 10 feet pretty much since he won the 2019 Open. The guy should have won a lot more events. But this could be the week. His lag putting is really, really good. I don't know what event was it? He hit a record for most consecutive tournaments or rounds last season without a 3-putt So that was pretty unbelievable. A guy definitely you should be watching this week. I think he's about 28-1 on the sports book, and you'll probably get him about 45-1 on the exchange. So you know it is. It's a pretty good return for a guy you think is really going to compete. I think he's going to be the best of the Irish. He's finished third there. I think it was 2022 when McIlroy finished second. Had a really good showing there. He steps up at these courses, and he missed 5 of his first 6 cuts at Augusta. This is his 10th showing, and there's a good stat here. The hot spot for a player to win at Augusta is between your 7th and 10th appearance. This is Shane Lowry's 10th. Definitely a player I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this week. I'm probably going to have a punt myself on him because I think he's going to be thereabouts this Sunday. He seems pretty confident going in as well. Would not be surprised if we can see Shane in sort of the top 5 or 6, definitely here on Sunday at Augusta National. Okay, moving on. Justin Thomas. It's been a weird one for Justin the last few years. Obviously, he's struggled, in terms of getting over the line. I think he's won since the PGA Championship, but another guy who is really sort of coming on and getting his game back together, which is really great to see because he's a phenomenal player to watch when he's rolling them in and hitting into those beautiful wedge shots. Putting's got better. There was a little bit of a miss to the right with a lot of his putts earlier on this season, but again, he's putting together a decent record as we see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10 finishes in his last 6 events, and that Valspar Championship he threw it away. He'd have 3-shot lead with 4 holes to play. So I think coming into the Masters, when you've already won a major as well, players seem to just sort of test out things and stuff like that. But the fact he's knocking on the door constantly is a really, really good sign for JT. I know he's had caddy issues this week. Joe Griner's gone in his bag. He used to be with Max Homa because his caddy got injured, which is a bit of a frustration. But how much is a caddy going to do in the course? Joe Griner will know all the nooks and crannies around Augusta National. So I think if you're looking at someone to back, yet again, another one like Larry, I would expect him to be around there for the weekend. If he can keep, the treble bogeys off the card, he's a tendency to do that. But I'm hot on Justin Thomas this week. I've said it for a long time. No one's talking about him either, taking the pressure off him. He could be in for a good one, guys. 100% could be in for a good one. So, there too, I'd really, really look out for. Again, let's move it on. A lefty. Lefties love Augusta, right? Absolutely love Augusta. Akshay Bhatia played such good golf at the Players' Championship a few weeks ago. I think it was tied 3rd he finished. Unbelievable stuff. Like, what a final round. The guy's so young. Didn't play too well at the Valero, Texas last week. He won that obviously the year before, but I wouldn't read too much into that because, again, when you're coming into these events, you're trying things out, you're testing stuff out. These guys are all millionaires. They want the big events, the top 20, 30, 40, 50 players in the world and beyond, but obviously the stupid, world rankings don't mean an awful lot these days because the live guys aren't featuring there. But that's what it is. You've a guy like Bhatia who's an unbelievable talent, a great ball shaper. He's a lefty as well. He's really good with that anchor putter, with the broom putter. Done so well. Unbelievable stuff. So he's a guy, I think, you're going to get him at, again, a pretty goddamn good odds. If you're looking to place a bet 55-1 there, you're going to get way more in the exchange, probably in the 100s. Definitely worth a few punts if you're going to have a bet this weekend. I could see him being in there around the weekend. Another one, massive odds, 130-1, finished 20th here last year, has had a pretty good season to date. Little bit up and down, world number 30, tied 8th at the Valspar Championships, tied 3rd at the Players' Championships. This guy is a former US Open winner. No one ever gives him the respect. Week in, week out, you'll get Lucas. I got him a number of weeks ago, I think like 200-1. I think that was for the Players' Championship, each way back on it. You're going to get a guy like this, there's good value. Lucas was 300-1 last year at this event. I had him backed. He is a quality player. Really good solid off the tee, really good long irons, good with the wedge. The only thing maybe is the putter lets him down. But if he can blast the ball, near enough to those holes, he's a good lag putter too, like Shane Lowry. Get it in close. He could be there in the mix come the weekend. Like the weather as well, it's going to be a little bit, it's blown out today, so the greens are probably going to dry out and probably is going to get a little bit slicker over the weekend as the tournament goes on. That's the way Augusta always like. They love to set up like that. So you're going to need a touch around the greens. But as I said, like I'm not overemphasizing the putter this year. I think a lot of people are talking about that. And I kind of agree. If you actually look at the prior winners of the green jacket, like, so it's going to be really interesting. I think Lucas is just being at the bigger events, he just seems to step up to the mark. And I'm not writing Lucas off from contending here or being in the mix for at least a good finish at the weekend. There's plenty of other markets you can go on to. I've looked up in the top 10 markets. There's some really good odds in these guys there as well. I think he's 40 to 1 to finish top 5, top 10. I think that's a really good, sensible bet for a guy of his quality, a hardy, steely veteran, really solid player. So yeah, if you're enjoying this, hit the subscribe button, share, hit the notification button, all that malarkey. Drop comments, hit me up on social media, Twitter. It's all Niall McGrath number 4. So, okay, who else have we got on the list this week? We've Sergio Garcia, Thomas Glover. We've gone through them. Mickelson, Akshay Bhatia, Cameron Smith, Shane Lowry, and Jordan Spieth. Right, people are going to go, oh no, Jordan's out of form. He hasn't won anything in ages. He's dropped to 65 in the world. The guy is playing really good golf again lately. He spent 6-7 months out with that wrist injury. He was literally picking up glasses and he was dislocating his wrist. It got to that so bad at one point. But there's definite signs of Jordan Spieth's improvement this year. The Cognizant Classic, you see there, tied 9th. Players' Championship, up and down, week 59th. Valspar Championship, a lot better, tied 28th. And then the Valero Texas Open last week, tied 12th. That could have been a lot better round if it wasn't some of his wayward drives. But, Jordan's the kind of guy, we love watching him play golf. He could be up in your granny's shed at one point. He could be, in a fucking someone's living room on a golf course hitting the ball out because he's so wild off the tee. But that's what we love about him. He produces these incredible shots. But he's definitely getting some consistency back in his game. And there's definitely signs of him trending in the right direction. Tee a little bit erratic, but the iron play has been better. The wedges have been better. Putting, again, could be a little bit better, but he is still dropping some putts. He's not 3-putting or doing anything wild around there. And he's even said himself, he feels good going into this event. And the interesting thing he did say a few weeks ago, I don't know if anyone missed this, him and Rory McIlroy, I don't know, maybe they don't get on too well, maybe a bit of speculation, the whole WhatsApp thing a few years ago, but he did say there's too much hype around McIlroy going into this event. And, I kind of agree with that, as I spoke about earlier on. But you have to look at Jordan and what he says about Augusta as well. He thinks it's a little bit too hyped up because it's one of the easier majors to win on. I know he's won there in the past. I know he has a green jacket in his locker. But if he actually does feel like that going into this event, and his game is trending in the right direction, I'm definitely going to have a couple of quid on Jordan Spieth, especially at 33 to 1. I think they're pretty decent odds. Again, you'll even get better on the exchange, up as far as probably 90 to 1. So really a lot of good bets in there, I think, this week to get over the line at Augusta National. They're the guys I'm going with. You see them there. And it's just going to be unbelievable. I think we're in for probably the best Masters ever, the way it's trending at the moment. I think we could have 10 guys in the mix on Sunday. And I think that's what we want because there's just an excitement this year. I think, everyone talks about the Live PGA Tour divide, but, this is making the majors bigger. People tune into these events when they see the Live guys back, the likes of Bryson DeChambeau, who's cleaning up on YouTube. Absolutely insane numbers. I think he's hit 1 billion on YouTube. So, that's why people are tuning in. They're looking at John Rahm. Can John Rahm, come back in? He's dropped, I think, 100 in the world. Not that the world rankings, mean an awful lot because he's obviously won a major. Can he come back and perform after a miserable major last year? it's going to be interesting, fascinating. There's so many narratives, there's so many talking points, there's so many players this year, I think more than ever. Like, you look down this whole list and you're just going, there's winners, potential winners all over the place. There's former winners all over the place. There's young guns knocking around that could potentially do something. It's off the charts. Ryder Cup year as well. Like, we have a serious amount to look forward to. I'm absolutely buzzing for it to be won, and I'm going to be, playing a bit of golf, as I said, in Spain, but I'll have my phone with me on the golf course, probably wrecking everyone's head. We might get a few holes in over there. We might have this on the channel. I'm not sure yet. I want to plan that out a little bit more before I start doing that. But that will be fun, I guarantee you, because I do get a bit carried away on the golf course. Probably do a bit of, I did something as well a few weeks ago, which is in the works, which is ChatGPT. I did a custom. I asked what club should I get, and then actually went to the fitter. So that's going to be, that's off the charts, that is. So do stay tuned for that. When I get around to posting that up. But listen, that's who I'm going with. They're my picks this week. Cam Smith, Phil Mickelson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Sergio Garcia, Lucas Glover, Shane Lowry. I am really hot on Shane Lowry and Justin Thomas this week. I've studied the stats. I've done all my usual sort of stuff. Who's trending in the right direction, who I feel is going to have a big week. People, especially, like I always say, this comes to Masters, it's always that sneaky one that you have that no one's really talking about. The spotlight's away from it. They come out and boom, they'll take it. But it's so interesting. It really is. Probably the best Masters on paper going in terms of who can actually win it. As I said earlier on, I think 6 PGA Tour winners from Europe this year. It's been incredible. Another few outsiders I do have written down here. Russell Henley, I won on him at the API a few weeks ago. Sepp Straka, really good with his irons. Worry a little bit about the putting again, but he's just played so good this year. That guy has been sensational. He's been so consistent when he's played. He might have missed one cut. I'm not sure. I don't have it up in front of me here, but he's a guy that could really contend this weekend. I wouldn't rule out John Rahm either, 100%. But again, I think there is a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. The spotlight's not on him so much at the moment. So maybe, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing with John Rahm and the Spanish guys. They can be quite heated at times. But really, really interesting. There's potential winners, as I said, all over the goddamn place. Right, guys, I do appreciate you checking out the preview show tonight. It's the first time anyone do this on a weekly basis, and as I said, going to get some golf vlogs down, maybe a few equipment things down. I'm going to do that AI custom fitting thing that I did a few weeks ago. Just fascinating results. Well, you check that shit out. It's fucking unbelievable. And I'm going to go to bed because I have to catch a flight to Spain in 2 hours. Enjoy the Masters. Be good, and good luck and good night.
All right. Ball out. Ball out. Ball.